Hi guys, today I will show you the long-awaited Otherworld and how I hunt here and what my path is. Uh, Quick breakdown, experience is pretty average, 5 out of 10. Loot is amazing. This place is a really good place for profit. Uh, Gold pouch recommended if you have it, because a lot of the a lot of the loot here will be from the gold. Spawn difficulty is about 8 out of 10. It's a pretty tough spot actually, at least for level 500. It's pretty tough, so yeah, be careful out there. Optimization difficulty, I give a 4 out of 10. That's mostly because it's a little bit of a complicated route, um, and you probably need to be switching prismatic ring and skill ring quite a lot. So that adds a little bit of awkwardness to the hunt, but it's not too bad. It's only a 4 out of 10. It's not too bad at all. Access difficulty 1 out of 10. You only need to kill 10 monsters at the start in the hole to get through the TP. Otherwise, you don't need any access quests. Popularity 5 out of 10. It's a relatively common spot for paladins to hunt at, so sometimes it might be taken, but not too often. And this place can be effectively hunted solo by knights, paladins, duos, and maybe other combinations. Maybe a maid can hunt here solo, but I don't think it'd be too great. You need quite a high level, I think. And just of a note, just keep in mind that the entrance to this spawn changes every 2 hours since server save. So you will need to find where it currently is, and that's on Krachman's, Fargrund, or Zao. And based on where it hunts, you enter the spawn at a different place. So you will need to sort of know your way around the spawn a little bit to find the route that I'm going to suggest. Let's take a look at the results. So starting level 500 plus, raw experience is about 3 million, which is about 4.5 on 150, and loot is up to about 1.1 kk per hour profit. I think more likely it's somewhere between 900 to 1 kk, but it's pretty solid. And stable. There's not really any rares at this spot. Some of maybe the collars or rings are a little, what you'd consider rares, but they still drop often, so your profit's going to be pretty stable. And it will take you about 6.5 hours for full bestiary, 200 points. So, requirements level 500 plus, you will need to kill the 10 mobs at entrance the first time you ever want to enter Otherworld. And you will need an earth weapon. The monsters are the weakest to earth. Recommended imbuements, all standard, and also energy defense imbuement. I definitely recommend it around level 500. If you're sort of level 650, 700, you probably no longer need that energy imbuement. And the damage breakdown, as you can see, is 53% physical, 26% energy, almost 14% life drain, and 7% death. So definitely focus on that energy protection. And I recommend having a prismatic ring. So as you will see in the video, I weave the prismatic ring and the skill ring on certain poles. There's at least 2 or 3 poles where you have like 15 monsters around you, and in those poles you'll probably need prismatic ring. So definitely be comfortable with using the prismatic ring when it gets a little bit dicey. Moving on, supplies that I use is about 2.8 thousand strong mana potions per hour and about 150 supremes per hour. Charms I don't use. There's 4 separate monsters I don't hunt here often enough for it to be worth it for me to apply the charms. If you really love this spot and you're going to be hunting here lots and lots, then sure, you can apply some charms. It's most likely going to be stuff like wound, energy, and flame, low blow. Sorry, I said energy tonight. I meant earth. Earth is definitely the best one. So poison, right? And yeah, like I say, wound and flame and curse, I think is probably pretty good on one of them as well. Anyway, with regards to the wheel, Exile Mass, there's huge pulls here, up to 15 monsters. Sometimes I definitely prefer Exile Mass. And the character in the video will be level 565 EK, 128 axe skill, including loyalty, and I have no praise or charms active. And just before we take a look at the route, quick shout out to all my YouTube members. Thank you very much, guys. Such Dedor, Kruche, Dziki Krystal, Pashigo, Paput, Lastkes, Javi, and Defect Musgo. I appreciate you guys so much. And let's take a look at the route. So, you will enter the spawn, from a different place, because like I mentioned, there's 3 different possible locations for you to enter this spawn. So you will just need to get to the central bit and near the hub, because that's where I hunt. So before we take a look at the route, one thing I will say as well is that this place is actually huge. and it's perfectly possible to share this hunting spot between 2 or 3 people. So if someone's hunting here, I would suggest just reaching out and seeing if you can come to an agreement where, you split the spawn in 2 different halves and, you share it, because there's plenty of spawn and plenty of possible routes you can take and hunt here. So with that in mind, my route is not necessarily perfect. You can definitely, do it a little bit differently if you like. But yeah, let's take a look at how I do it. So starting from the hub, I guess we'll start from the hub. If you look at the +1 in the top right corner here, this is the TP to the hub. So you can use this as the reference to how I hunt, because most people can get to the hub somehow. So let's start with this. All the green dots are basically the pulls that you will do. So here is one. That's one pull. Then I go here. I do a pull here. I then go here, sort of get all the monsters from here and do a pull here. I then go downwards through this hole right here. We will then end up in this place right here. That's the entrance here from the higher floor. I do a little pull to the right. Well, when I say little, it's not very little. It's actually quite a big pull here. Then I go south and I do a pull here. I go southeast, do a pull here. More to the east, pull here. Some of these pulls are really big, by the way. Those 2 pulls here are really big, so I definitely recommend Prismatic Ring. Then I go up to the north, do a pull here, which is actually another pretty big pull, so be careful for that one. And then I go north, and I use the rope spot. So I go up, +1, and I come out here, and actually just restart. And then you just do this little loop. So that's total of what? 3, 5, 8 pulls. Plenty of respawn. This is totally sufficient for you. I mean, maybe if you're level 1000, you will need to add an extra couple pulls somewhere, but for a level 5, 600, this is definitely sufficient. And as you can see, there's loads of the spot that's not taken, right? So you can definitely share this spawn with someone else. It's definitely big enough, so do try to make it happen if necessary. Okay. And that's all I have for you today, guys. I really love this spot. I think it's very fun to play. It's easy 200 charm points. It's not super popular, great profit, reasonable experience, but not great, of course. Yeah, that's what I have for you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.